nerds, happy Sunday and welcome to this week's Nerd In. We hope we all had a fantastic weekend. Last weekend we were off. We are doing the Nerd In tonight. Then we've got our Himbo Hoedown next week, and then we're going to be off again for a few weeks. So this is our last Nerd In for a bit. Should be a lot of fun. To kick things off, I guess we'll go to what is everyone working on this evening? Kyra, how about you?
Dude, I don't even know. Maybe a blog post. We'll see.
There. Leah?
Still working on chapter 10.
Oh, very nice. And Emma?
I haven't decided for sure. I will either be playing Tears of the Kingdom or reading A Conspiracy of Kings, which is next to my reread of the series. So I should be writing.
Going with that. I forgot about it.
Yeah.
I've been so stuck in audiobook stuff recently. So tonight I'm going to be finishing The Golden Spoon on audiobooks so that I can finally continue something else. Because I just haven't been listening to audiobooks, and then just kind of I'm going to start with brainstorming for stuff I need to get done this week. Listen to a book and hopefully get organized is my plan.
Nice.
Hello to Cool Gamer and then Griswold, who is trying to decide if she should read or write. Always the epic question.
Mm-hmm. I do have a book next to me in case the writing doesn't go well.
What are you reading?
The Spear Cuts Through Water, an adult fantasy. Yeah, it's pretty big.
Ooh, that's cool. In our pre-chat, we were just kind of discussing both the Barbie movie and Oppenheimer come out on the same day. And media generally is trying to set it up as a head-to-head thing. I feel like everyone is pretty clearly going to already know whose side they're on. Team Barbie over here, but
yeah.
All I know about Oppenheimer is that it comes out on the same day as the Barbie movie.
Matt loves
I've
that
seen
director.
nothing promotional about it. It's just it comes out on the same day as the Barbie movie, and it's a big deal. And I'm like, that's all I know.
Yeah, Matt's always been very we see Christopher Nolan movies, although we didn't see the last one and it kind of flopped. So, whereas Greta Gerwig's last movie did very, very well.
It annoys me because I feel because it's been set up as a fight, people are going to go see Oppenheimer that wouldn't care otherwise.
I still a lot of people I talk to outside of this world still feel like Barbie movie is going to be the Smurfs movie or Mario of that cut. I'm no, that can't say for sure, but I don't believe that's what they're setting it up as at all. So I don't feel like the Barbie movie is getting attention outside of the people who would passionately love it automatically.
I don't know. I feel it's big online, and there are a lot of people who are perennially online.
I said something about how I couldn't wait for it to come out at my son's birthday party a couple weeks ago. I was like, oh, I can't wait. I wish the Barbie movie was out already or something like that. And my sister-in-law, who's not super, super online, was like, oh, I can't wait. So
I've talked to a lot of people who I would not think are the target audience for Barbie who are know about it and are interested.
Yeah. I guess the conversation I'm talking about, the guys were also very well, Ryan Gosling really does only take serious roles and he's pretty picky. So maybe, I don't know, just film bros.
Yeah.
And Griswold says, I feel I'm in the tiny cross section of people interested in both movies. Who else feels that way? I'm definitely interested. I will see both for sure.
Mm-hmm. I definitely don't think it's too small of a cross section because since they both were announced, I've seen a lot of internet jokes about we're doing a double feature on July 21st. Which one are we seeing first? You know,
I feel
is
you gotta
Barbie
start
the palette
Oppenheimer.
cleanser?
Yeah. Because that's the main reason I wouldn't want to see Oppenheimer in theaters is it's supposed to be just soul crushing and horrible. And I just it's so hard for me to sign up to feel that way. Emma, the other day when you were mentioning you hadn't realized I hadn't watched season 2 of The Witcher, I was thinking about it. And you and Megan were so good about warning me about all the horrible things that happened that was just kind of why I didn't watch it right away. Oh, well, that sounds not great. And so far it has been a lot of fun, but I haven't even reached any of this stuff you guys warned me about. So
I don't even remember at this point. I need to rewatch it.
And in fairness, I think Oppenheimer.
Oh yeah, I forgot the animals.
I think for me, Oppenheimer is just like a genre of movie I do not care about. It's like historical. I don't know. I feel like I've seen a lot of movies about World War II.
It depends on the tone they end up going with for me, I think.
Yeah.
Of like, if it's like historical, like telling the story, I'm interested. If it's like, what's the film equivalent of literary? Just like, if it's trying to be an
Highbrow.
award,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
exactly that. I'm like, oh, just trying to win awards. And
No one should listen to my opinions about movies on anything, though. I barely even watch movies, so I realize that every time the Oscars roll around, I'm like, wow, I've seen one of these films.
I always try to watch a bunch of them, and then once I read the descriptions, I'm like, no. Or I tried to watch The Banshees of Inisherin. Like, Ireland, I love Ireland. And like, no, it was just like such serious, moody men feuding in very slow motion.
I watched Tar and I had to like split it into like 2 viewings. Like I couldn't watch the whole thing at once.
Was it good?
It was, but like I would never watch it again.
Yeah,
It's that sort of good movie. Really, I can tell this is really well made and it's good, but like I will never rewatch this.
that tracks.
I think in fairness, I also just don't care a lot about awards. Like I don't love the Grammy. I kind of care about the Grammys, but not even that much. And I actually do listen to music on like movies. So
See, I care about the Emmys. Like it's because it's fun to see. I watch enough TV that it's fun to be like, oh, like I've seen these ones. Like I usually have seen the majority of the comedies that are nominated and like 1 or 2 of the dramas.
And I feel like the Emmys are the least bad, but not good for like the winners actually being the ones that should win versus
People are
like,
watching. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like the Academy is voting for, oh, so and so did this film. I'll just vote for it because I obviously have not seen all of these movies.
Yeah. It also is maybe something to be said for like television's almost like a healthier industry than film right now, where like people are watching TV shows where like when it comes to movies, people are watching like the new Marvel and Disney movies and
not even
much
that
else.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I try to watch more movies and like try to branch out from the blockbusters. Of like, I'm sure there are ones out there that I would love, and I'm not trying enough to find them. I'll happily rewatch my favorite movies. I'm just not discovering them very quickly, so I'm trying to put in more effort. But yeah.
Well, I think it's hard. And again, like take anything I say about movies with a grain of salt, but I think like a lot of like lower budget, good quality movies, like those are just, they're not being made as much anymore. Like everything is trying to be a blockbuster.
Yeah.
And for me, I think the types of movies that I actually would really like would be a lot of like, you know, just kind of lower budget, smaller, quieter.
And I think
like the rom-coms and
yeah, I think the movies like that are being made are going straight to streaming. They aren't going to theaters nearly as often. Yeah, we like have been trying to a little bit more, partly because I've gotten kind of burnt out on the Marvel movies. Where it used to be like, if we were going to make it to the movie theater, we were going to be seeing like Marvel or Star Wars or something. And we have been trying, like when we have like a babysitter, to like see some different stuff. And like we saw Dungeons and Dragons last time, and we saw Everything Everywhere All at Once at one point, which was really good. It's been kind of nice to see different stuff.
It's weird too, though, because like I saw Dungeons and Dragons, I loved it. I feel like it was marketed poorly. I don't know. Like I can't even remember exactly how I found out about it, but it was kind of like a spur of the moment, like, oh, I guess I'll go see that. And I'm really glad I did, but I know it didn't do as well as they were hoping. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of movies are declared as like flops because the industry hasn't accepted that you can't have $1 billion movie every weekend. Like no one is going to see movies that much.
Well, that's what's frustrating about like doing fewer like movies that are lower budget, though, is because it's like a movie doesn't need to make as much money if you don't spend as much money on it, right?
I went and saw Asteroid City with my parents. My
Was
dad
that good?
likes
Oh.
Wes Anderson films, and I would only recommend it to people who are already a fan of his work. I will say, but there was a trailer for a Sundance film called Theater Camp that looked like it would be fun. Hey, Megan.
We're just kind of deep diving on film and television.
Right on. I'm here for it.
It started with Barbie versus Oppenheimer.
Ah, yes. I'm very excited for Barbie. I have no opinion on Oppenheimer. I'm happy for the people who are excited for it. It's just not my fandom.
Yeah.
We're probably going to go see a movie this week because my son is going to stay with his grandparents. And yeah, it was between like the Wes Anderson movie and Spider-Man. Like those are like the things we're most interested. I have a feeling it'll probably be Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
I want to see the
Yeah,
Spider-Man one.
I'm going to see Spider-Man this week too, while I'm off work.
It was really, really good, guys. Surprising no one, but
I'm excited.
and like I think probably more than the Wes Anderson one. That one's worth seeing in theaters just for the
Right.
the animation
Yeah.
is so fantastic.
Mhm.
I'm late because I was putting my son down for the night because my spouse is out this evening. And my child very politely, as it was like 8:05, asked, "Could we just read one more book, please?" And I was like, "Well, I'm legally obligated to say yes." You can't just ask it that politely.
Mhm.
What was the book?
Love Makes a Family.
Aw.
It has the line, "Love is reading one more book." So it's like, it's perfect.
Now you know I love you. Please go to sleep.
Please go to sleep. We also read Creepy Crayon. So another classic. Hmm.
Missy Kate said that's why I still enjoy having cable. Channel surfing will bring me to more movies that I wouldn't normally have seen. And I do love that feeling of like I struggle with movies I haven't seen because you like jump in the middle of like, oh, would I have enjoyed this from the beginning? I'll never know now.
Mm.
But like jumping into the middle of a movie that you love that you never would have thought to rewatch is such a fun feeling.
Yeah. I very briefly got that feeling when Netflix has that like shuffle option.
Mm-hmm.
And I like shuffled it and it dropped me into Gilmore Girls, which is not a show I typically rewatch. But that was fun. But then I shuffled again when I was in a silly, goofy mood and it gave me something I wasn't interested in. So I was betrayed.
Netflix has kicked me off the family account, so it's dead to me.
Oh no, it
Yeah.
hasn't kicked me off yet. I've been like speed running through everything I care
Yeah.
about.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I gotta finish the kids baking show. It's coming.
You guys live close enough together that you could probably pull off a combined family
True.
account.
But my mom pays for the Netflix.
All right, my dad does.
And she pays for extra screens, so she's not the one watching it. She's gonna cancel
Right.
too if they don't keep us on it.
Mhm. I know my parents don't use their Netflix. The rest of us do.
Yeah.
I figure because you have the option to say that like you're traveling, and like you're at a different location. So I figure just whenever a show is out that I like need to binge, I'll do that. Say that my dad is traveling, and then just like binge the show and not watch anything else for months.
Smart. Smart.
Hello to everyone who is joining us in the comments. Ooh, for Florida storms.
This is like the first day of sunshine I've had in Emma's had in weeks.
Storms are just starting to brew here. I'm excited not to have to water my vegetables for a bit.
Oh yeah, my cucumber plant has gone crazy from the rain. So
We
you can
got a
look forward
whole
to
new
that.
batch of strawberries.
Oh my God.
I woke up and there were like 10 new strawberries.
When they said ever bearing, they really meant
But
ever
they
bearing.
really meant it. I want to get more of them. We've been getting consistent strawberries since about January. So,
Oh wow.
Nice.
long time. I think what books did I even read this month?
Ooh. I really liked The Lesbiana's Guide to Catholic School.
Love that book.
It's a great read.
Aaron is almost kind of maybe here. Okay, there we go.
Ah, the
The
gang's
computer lives.
all here.
Like, oh, this is such a good timed question for Erin. Hopefully she could actually like, there's always that moment when you like log into StreamYard of like, is her picture going to appear or is it her computer just like giving her false hope? So the question is, any favorite LGBTQ books this month or ever? Open it
Well,
up.
or ever. You guys know my feelings about Gideon the Ninth. I'm sure that's already been mentioned. I might have subtly inferred that I like that series a time or two. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay.
You look great.
Uh,
I mean, like connection. I mean, you also look great, but connection-wise, you
oh,
look
thank
great.
you.
Coming
Here's
through
working.
loud and clear.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anything off the top of my head that I've read the most recently. I've been reading a lot of horror, and unfortunately, there's not as much queer horror that I can think of off the top of my head. You'll have to give me a minute to come back to that.
The Honeys. I love The Honeys. Highly recommend.
Oh. Writing that down.
I also liked Meet Cute Diary by Emery Lee.
Yeah, I've been wanting to read that one.
Immediately can't even remember the last thing I read.
It has
What are
not been a
books?
big reading year for me, so I'm just kind of
No.
scrolling way back.
I just started You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kim.
Ooh.
Mm.
It's really good so far. I love, horror final girls. So
Yes.
I this month read Something Like Possible by Neil Moreland. I thought it was good. Quite enjoyed it.
And Griswold says, give us the horror titles you've been enjoying. I just finished A House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher.
love T. Kingfisher.
That was good. It was really good. Very spooky.
Yeah, my most recent like horror really enjoyed was What Moves the Dead. Also,
Loved
Oh,
that one.
also by T. Kingfisher. Yeah. Mushrooms, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyra's
Oh, yeah.
favorite. Kyra's already there in the short corner just going, no.
I did read Mexican Gothic for Megan, and it has mushrooms, so
Yes.
that's more.
That's where she draws the line, though.
Mexican Gothic. That was spooky.
This question made me remember to go check if I had been approved for Iris Kelly Doesn't Date, and I have. So I'm going to be sending that to my Kindle right now.
Yes.
It's also approved for a book called The Dead Take the A Train. I don't even know what it was.
Interesting.
The first line of the description is Julie is a coked up, burnt out 30-year-old whose only retirement plan is dying early.
Damn.
Okay.
Oh, you know what book I'm really, really anticipating from the title alone? I don't think it comes out until next year. I'm trying to double check the date, but my phone's going really slow. But it's called I Feed Her to the Beast, and the Beast is me.
It's such a great title.
It's such a good time. And the cover's amazing too. I'm really excited for it.
I'm all about horror right now. I'm gonna write down all these titles.
Pull up the book so I can see when it comes out.
The other book I just finished is called Episode 13. That's what it's called. By Craig DeLuey. And that was really good. It was in kind of like a found footage type of format, which was unusual in a book. Like I haven't
It's
read
hard to
anything
do
like
well
that
in a
before.
book.
It was hard to do well, but he did it really well. I really enjoyed it. You think it's like a ghost story, and then it just gets weirder and weirder. So
Yeah.
it was good. And it's about ghost hunters. I think Meg and I were talking about this because
Yes, I need Ghost Hunter books.
yeah, ghost hunter. So episode 13 it was really good.
Episode 15. Okay. I Theater to the Beast comes out at the end of August, so not too far away.
I guess.
I know you've already read it, Nicole, but I also really loved The Spite House. I thought that one was fun.
I need like I already said this on Instagram, but I'm like looking for all of the ghost books.
Yeah, The Spite House would fit the bill then.
Okay. In Greswold says, I hated the ending of episode 13, and I do agree with you. I thought yeah, unfortunately, like I would recommend it just for like the ride, but I
That's
didn't
good
like
to
the
know
ending.
about
Yeah,
the
didn't
ending.
like the ending. Yeah. Good note. You are warned.
Oh yes, I'm really looking. I was just thinking about that book today, The Poisons We Drink. I'm really excited for that one.
That one. Maybe from Megan, I feel like.
It's got a really pretty cover.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another horror one.
I think it's a. Is it a fantasy? I think
Yeah,
it's a fantasy.
My other favorite. So I'm just gonna buy so many books after this chat.
I did. We were talking about books that have ghost hunters in them, and then in our writing group, we were talking about Grady Hendrix, who is my most comparable author for my own book ideas. So I did try Horror Store, and of all of the Grady Hendrix books I've read or DNF'd, this one I hated the least. So
high praise.
I thought it was kind of like a fun format. There's like IKEA style advertisements in it, and it's a really short book. So
that reminds me of, it's in Las Vegas. It's that store you can go into. It's like I can't remember what the market name is, but it's something market, and all the products are super weird. Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
mm-hmm.
No, it's like, I'm sure someone in the comments will, but it's like you go into a supermarket, but it's like a front for alien beings, essentially. That's the gimmick. So you go in and everything looks slightly off at first, and it gets weirder and weirder. And like there's like Coke coolers, and they're all starting to warp. Like it's all set up, it's all real. So they've set up like somebody has blown glass of Coke bottles so that they're warping as you go deeper into the cooler and stuff. So creepy. That's what it reminded me of. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Nicole said I borrowed the new Riley Sager because it has a trope I love. I know I shouldn't, but I can't help. I feel like I might enjoy Riley Sager books spread out more. As long as he stops doing it's the new boyfriend who's the killer. That's I think in like every book. Like,
I mostly just did it.
If you've read one, you know the killer in all of them.
Oh dear. Oh yeah, that was the one I read too. Yeah. Okay, interesting. I did not like the one I read because it felt very much like, let's do feminism. And I was like, but maybe you shouldn't, because I don't know. I don't enjoy this.
Wait, what is the trope though? That's in the new one?
That's a good question.
I guess I should work on something, but I don't want to work on anything. I
feel like our last like few nerd-ins have been like very focused and not very chatty, so we're allowed one.
We're okay to be chatty this time.
I brought my work with me, but I haven't even opened it yet. So I was gonna say, Kelly, I like your hair.
Yeah,
Looks
it
nice.
looks good.
Thank you, thank you.
I was thinking today about how I've been gearing up because I have work off this week, so I'm hoping to, get a lot of coffee shop writing done. And I was thinking about our like writing processes, and I think it would be fun to do a video where we like compare then and now what writing looks like for us, like what it looked like back in the earlier days of the channel versus what it looks like now that we're a decade older. I think
That would be a
really
good
fun.
video. Mm-hmm. God.
Yeah,
that
not
would
that
be a
mine
big video.
hasn't changed, but I'm a little concerned by how less it has changed than maybe it should over time.
I don't know if that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
There
It's
was
like
another
I've always
person.
had a bad process, but I got more efficient at it.
Okay, I just got really excited because Megal said, I think Aaron was talking about Omega Mart, an interactive art installation in Las Vegas. That's what it is. Yeah, if you look up Omega Mart, it is like the trippiest thing you have ever seen. Yeah, it was very cool. Interesting. And Griswold said the trope is come to my home or I'll tell you and only you my secret.
I do love that.
What happens it feels like someone gets murdered at the end of that, yes? No? No. Is that how the trope ends?
The Omega Mart stuff is weird.
Right?
Yeah.
I have so many pictures of the weird product. And the best thing is you can buy it and take it home and just put it in your pantry to confuse the crap out of guests.
Buy one, get that one.
There's so much good stuff in there. I guess I should pretend to do work.
Or not.
Yeah.
No, now I'm looking at Omega Mart.
Yeah.
I like this like spray bottle that is shaped like a giraffe, but which is already interesting, but there's like a tag on it that just says why. Same.
I like the cereal. Simply Spiders.
Delicious.
That'd be like that sounds like fun to actually like wander through and
It is.
seriously look at everything.
Yeah, that's literally because there's like a whole like secret section once you go back through the like warping cooler that you get into like this is where the like secret agency or whatever it is. And like Sean, when we went there, was like, yeah, I want to explore like the back behind the cooler where all the like spaceship stuff is. And I'm like, I don't care about any of that. I just want to go look at the weird cereal. Like,
Yeah, I want like funny grocery store products.
yeah, that's why I'm here.
Who told you this was butter?
Like this, it looks like a cereal called Oh Those. I just keep cackling at who told you this was butter.
Laundry detergent called plausible deniability. If it gets out the bloodstains, you're good.
Yeah, that's right.
I feel like it would be a good store to walk in for inspiration for stories.
100%. Oh yeah, right. And Crystal says they have a tattooed chicken. I forgot about that one. Doesn't he have sleeves or something? I can't remember. Now I have to look up pictures.
I'm gonna have to go back to Vegas sometime. I actually am only like 4 or 5 hours driving from Vegas. It's a pretty convenient place for me to travel.
If I lived there, I would totally go for that.
Mhm.
Maybe I should go to Vegas sometime. Like, there's
great.
plenty of stuff to do there.
I just love the ads in front of the aisles that are just like, look at this.
Got other similar exhibits elsewhere. Denver, a couple of places in Texas too,
Mm.
but they're not the shopping one.
Frosty drinkables.
You can get gender fluid sparkling water.
Oh my god, there's like spray in a bottle that looks like Windex, but in the front in really shouty font it just says "Wake up." That's so creepy. Well, milk with 2 L's. I really like that all the ads are vaguely threatening. Like, you have
Yeah.
no idea what's in store for you. Like,
Just a general vibe of nothing good can come from this.
mhm. Frosted hay. Gross. Fruited loopholes. I'm looking at the cereals. Oh, this says this says simply does not contain spiders breakfast cereal.
Oh,
If you were concerned.
perfect.
Just how I like my cereal.
Same, surprisingly enough.
They make no promises on anything else not being contained. Definitely no spoilers.
That dude, it's just like pulled from the depths of my Twitter memory. That dude who like lied about finding shrimp in his cereal.
Oh my gosh,
Do you
the
remember
cinnamon
that?
toast crunch.
Why would you use shrimp of all things?
I don't know.
Maybe because it's Captain Crunch and he thought it needed to be sea-based.
That
The logic. Aha.
classic.
Classic shrimp in your cereal issues.
So, complete tangent, but I'm just reading a thing. Someone asked Jared Bush, who did something on Encanto, I don't know. Let's say writer. Somebody asked him, for Camilo, the one who can change his appearance, is that his is how we see him his actual appearance, or did he like adopt someone else's? And apparently they played the exact storyline where he reverted to his true self and the magic died and no one recognized him. But ultimately the moment had to be about Mirabelle.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was really interesting because I've always wanted like that to be the sequel of like Shapeshifter Boy finding himself and figuring out his true soul identity while he can be literally anyone he wants. So that was interesting.
Well,
We're just about coming up on an hour.
Oh, wow.
Feels like we managed to get something done.
Yeah.
I was skeptical we were going to, but we did. Good job, team.
Look at us.
I did a very extremely detailed, well drawn plot chart with
Nice.
stick people.
Yes.
I'm a pretty skilled artist, so you know.
Yes.
I think it's great.
Stick people.
I was working on revising and I did half a chapter. I had to there's this character whose like whole arc is realizing that sometimes the best thing you can do is not get involved. And I had this like big climax scene for this person and I had them get involved. And that was obviously like that's not their arc. That was the wrong thing to do. And so now I'm having to like fully change it and fix it, which has been a pain, but it's a lot better now. Have you guys heard of like, hang on, what's it called? Virtual Cottage?
I saw you playing it on Steam, so I looked at it. That's why I am aware of it.
I started using it this week. I've used it for like 20 hours and it's just like an ambient sound cottage like game on Steam that you can get for free. And there's like paid ones too where you can actually make the room look cuter, but this one you can just alter like if you want rain sounds or wind sounds. I heard about it from Bethany Baptiste on Twitter, who is the author of that book we were talking about earlier, The Poisons We Drink.
Oh,
I've been really enjoying it.
what is it? A game or just like an ambient?
It's
sound?
just ambient sound, and you can do like Pomodoro timer with it. So it'll be
That's
like
so cool.
stop playing the music after 20 minutes or something. Like stop playing the sound effects.
What's it just called? Virtual cabin?
Virtual Cottage.
Cottage. Okay.
Yeah.
Virtual cottage.
How do I even find my wish list?
I love
There's
stuff
another
like
one I
that.
want to try. There it is.
Like
Cozy
I love.
Time is what the other one is
Oh.
called that I want to try, but that one's $3. So I want to make
Oh,
sure I
okay.
actually use this consistently before I pay money for one.
I really like the rainy mood, so I'm definitely open to like trying other, like what like not for writing as much, but sometimes when I'm trying to fall asleep, there's like a YouTube video of just like literally it's just rain on a tent, and it's for some reason it's the most like relaxing thing to me. It's so good.
We had a question from Nicole. Megan, I think you said you use Scapple to create mind maps. I started using Miro last week to make a mind map for locations in my work in progress. I was curious to know how you use Scapple for brainstorms. I'm going to have to look up that program now because I've never heard of it. For me, I most often use it for characters. And so I'll start with like, okay, here's the town, and I'll kind of branch out. Well, I know that I need this main character, and I know I need this one. I usually have an idea of how many POVs I want, but I don't really know how to make it feel like a lived-in town. And so I have to like go from there and figure out, okay, well, this person, they probably have, parents who they're communicating with, friends. So how can I connect them to each other so that it feels really lived in? Like if it's a small town, they should maybe know of each other, but they aren't all going to be friends. You're not friends with everyone in your small town, And so I put little notes, and then if I have notes for how they might affect the plot, I'll kind of give that its own little shape off to the side. It's really chaotic. I only do it in the brainstorming phase.
So, being on the Cozy Time Steam page, it bopped me over to the Tiny Bookshop Steam page, which is different. It's not the same thing, but it's like it's coming soon. It's not even out yet, but it seems to be a game where you just like run an adorable traveling little like bookmobile and just like sell books to locals and stock up your store and just get to decorate it all cute. So that's exciting.
I've never been interested in a virtual game until now. Sounds so good.
Oh, this is taking me down like a wild rabbit hole of like Pomo Farm, a half-focused timer, half-idle farming game. There's a whole world here. As Tomato the Duck, grow your farm as you focus on tasks in the real world.
Much to consider here.
Dude, if they could somehow loop the Tiny Bookstore app idea into getting work done.
Yeah, I want
Wow.
like half of like the cottage vibe of like most of the time there's absolutely nothing happening. Like in your tiny bookstore, you have like 3 customers a day. It's not a
Yeah.
bustling business. It's just so like occasional focus breaks of, oh, customer, I'll stop what I'm doing.
Yeah. Because I've always had this like secret dream of like having my own little like used bookstore and then squirreling away in like a loft in that bookstore somewhere and just like writing my books. That's never going to happen in real life because it's not a sustainable business for most people, but a virtual one, yeah. Sign me up.
This feels like a good place to end for the evening. Thank you so much for joining us. I feel like this was a really fun evening that was hopefully at least a little bit productive or enjoyable for everyone. We will be back next week with our Himbo Hoedown. So very, very, very excited. Should be a pretty fantastic way to end things off before we go on hiatus for a few weeks. So hopefully we will see you all then. Ready?
It's
to
either going to be
your
great.
favorites.
It's either going to be great or end friendships. We will see.
Time will
Why not
tell.
both?
Why not both? It's going to be great viewing, is what you're saying. Either way.
I believe so, yes.
Hmm.
I'm super, super pumped. Alrighty, everyone. Thank you again. Have a great night. We will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.